We're talking about Saturn in Aries in this video. Welcome on Cosmic Girl 101. Glad you're here. This is an unfiltered, unrehearsed. Really, I'm just putting it out there. It's 7 o'clock in the morning where I'm at, and I just went, I want to do a video about Saturn in Aries. How's Saturn in Aries? The last time Saturn was in Aries was between 1996 and 1998. So if you're old enough, can you reflect what was going back on for you in those years? And here we have what is called a Saturn return. So Saturn hasn't been in Aries for 30 years, 29, 30 years, been a long time. So it's exciting because Saturn has been around the block. It's been in Aries, it's been in Taurus, it's been in Gemini, blah, 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 blah. And when it's sitting in Pisces, which it is right now while I'm recording this video, we have a very lived, learned, experienced Saturn. But we also have a very tired Saturn. From my perspective, any planets that are sitting in Pisces, they are experienced, they are sitting in the void, and they need something new. So Saturn currently in Pisces, about to transition into Aries. Is Saturn just building and integrating all of its experience, taking it all in, and it's ready to launch into Aries and begin again. Saturn right now, if we're talking philosophically, which I do, you can think of Saturn as this going, my goodness, there has just been so much that I've gone through in regards to creating a healthy balance with understanding restriction, limit, effort, building something, and I'm worn out. And I'm worn out now, and I need that old structure, that old way of being is done. I'm over it. And I just wanted to start something different for myself. And that means creating no boundaries and no limits in the youthful, energetic zodiac sign of Aries. It's time to break into being reckless, being enthusiastic and optimistic about life instead of sitting in my juices and understanding that, oh God, okay, I know what I know, and that's fine. I've come to my own mortality, and I understand that not everything worked out so well with my demeanor, but I'm ready to go again. I'm ready to fuck up, fall over, trip up. I'm ready to just abandon, be completely free of filters and free of my own limiting beliefs and restrictions about what I can build and what I can create moving forward. So this is inspiring stuff. It really, really is with Saturn in Aries. And I might be completely different from what you're hearing on all social media platforms, because for fuck's sake, social media is completely oversaturated with everything at this point. And that's okay, because we've all got skin in the game, yeah? But Saturn in Aries, I think, is going to be inspiring, uplifting, and exciting. We're just getting our muse back. I really feel that. And that's reflected a lot in the youth around us. Look what the youth are doing. We're talking about kids being out there and saying, I'm a woman, but I'm dressing like a man. I I'm being unfiltered, and I'm stepping into uncharted waters, and I'm talking about drugs, alcohol, and trauma and mental health issues and problems with the world. I mean, 30 years ago, when, in 1996 to 1998, we had this huge surge of grunge music where people dressed like they couldn't give a shit. They were singing and talking about the more denser things in human experience and life, and there was no filter, and people, they were loved for it. with Saturn and Aries. Yeah, we don't give a shit. We're just going for it. We're reckless. We don't really think about tomorrow. We're just being present, and we're just calling it as it is. Now that is inspiring. And I think that Saturn in Aries is like a reset of just going, and who gives a shit about how people look at you, what they think of you? Right now, you could be having comments going, oh my God, you're really going off and really enjoying your morning coffee. And you'd be right. But who gives a shit what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that I think through the lens of astrology that Saturn in Aries is going to be awesome. I don't think it's going to be bad at all. We've got Saturn that is more than ready to get out of the process of thinking in Pisces of, oh, let's just all chill out and be all spiritual and take all those lessons into the next cycle. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. I don't think Saturn's in for another round of let's just take all in the experience and not do anything different. Let's just hold a line. No, I don't get that at all with this transit. And thank the goddess for that. Seriously. Who needs the same old on repeat? We know that planets work in cycles, but I just think this Saturn in Aries is going to be fresh, exciting, and it's got this sensation of liberation and who gives a shit. So I think it's going to be empowering for people to have a voice, start something different for themselves, be individual, stand out from a crowd, stand on their own soapbox as I am right now, and just letting people know their opinion and not being feel like they are going to be criticized or put down. And if they are, they're not really going to care that much. They're going to wash it off like water off a duck's back. I don't think people are really going to care that much about offending people, saying what they want to say with a filter and a rehearsed way of expressing their feelings or what they think. And that's helpful when you think of thinking on the fly, talking on the fly, and you're just letting it out. And whether that's called Dutch courage, I don't know. But, what's better than dealing with a child, for example? You talk to a child, they just tell you how it is. They don't have that ingrained behavior through age of, well, you mind your P's and Q's. You cannot say that out of the mouths of babes concepts. I think that's what everyone's going to be going through with Saturn in Aries. And yay, good. Because we're past the point at this point in our human experience with what we witness on the world stage that everything's so rehearsed and so clinical, and the only people that are not doing that are the artists, are the musicians, are the poets, are the painters, are the dancers, because they only know how to express their innate feelings and their core being authentically through art. And everyone else is rehearsed and minding their P's and Q's. And yeah, that is where I think maybe we can start to see and feel a shift, that we're all going to get out of that space of such a rehearsed, polished presentation of whatever we are presenting or whatever we're talking about or what we're addressing. I just think that it's going to be, this is the harsh reality. Talk about Saturn, because the harsh realities have to be expressed, but you have to get excited about the harsh realities and how you can transform them and change them in your own individual experience. So, with the wisdom of the planets and cycles, or what can you take from Saturn in Aries? Well, you can put down the barriers in regards to not wanting to push the reset button and refresh button on your life and where you want to begin. If you want to begin something and you go, it's stupid, I can't, how embarrassing, I don't have this. Well, let's find solutions. How about you look at life as half glass full instead of half glass empty? What if you flip the script on yourself and go, I can do that? I don't have any barriers. I don't have any marginalized prejudices against me being a human being and being who I want to be and express myself. Because quite simply, when you get down to brass tacks, you don't. You simply do not. If you're listening to this video, thank you. But if you are, you're privileged. You have an internet connection, you have a phone, a television or a laptop, or what's that other thing they call them? Oh my goodness. An iPad. Do you know how much privilege and freedom you have just in that? You've got access to power, you have access to finances to make you afford your connection, you have access to your eyesight, your hands, your legs, your brain. You get the picture. There, think of limits, and right now you really don't have many. So, what do you do with an unlimited blank canvas in Aries? Well, you make your childlike enthusiasm sing with excitement and you start actualizing, because that's what Aries is. It's the youth zodiac sign. It's all about letting your freak flag fly, unfiltered, and going into uncharted waters and going in where angels fear to tread. And Saturn is very experienced, and we know this as this planet has that characteristic as being very experienced and wise. But the wisdom is in being childlike. The wisdom is in having a go, falling over, fucking up, embarrassing yourself, being the first to run out on a field and do whatever you want to express, and everyone go, whoa, man, now that's far out. And you're the first person to do something far out. Saturn knows the wisdom in unleashing the child, unleashing the passion, unleashing the life force within us. So I think this is an empowering place for Saturn to be in Aries. What are you, my listeners, going to do with all of this power of the wisdom of knowing I have a life to live? I am going to express my inner child. I'm going to have a go, and I'm going to enjoy being on this planet. I'm not going to look at the dismal realities with anything more than a quick understanding and then moving on, dropping out of the negative, the dense, and keep proactively engaging in things that I want to grow, things that give me enjoyment, things that excite me, things that make me feel inspired, like I'm not just drudging through heavy sand on this planet. There's so much more available to us. We've got access to plenty. We are privileged in many, many ways, and we are certainly not limited, especially in the ways that we perceive that we are. That is an ingrained behavior that you need to throw out the door, especially when Saturn gets into the zodiac sign of Aries. So that's my take on Saturn in Aries. Feel free to leave any comments. I'm sure there might be some that will be a little bit, I don't agree with that. Saturn's in 4. Mars is the ruler of Aries. Well, so what? And that knowledge that you have that Saturn's in 4 and it's ruled by Mars, the two malefics are working together. Is that going to mean you're not going to live your life and start enjoying it? Are you kidding? Astrology is not here to paralyze you and freak you out into thinking, if you, for example, if you're an Aries and you've got Saturn going into your zodiac sign, are you seriously going to sit there and go, oh my God, my life is shit for 2.5, 3 years while this transit happens? You have got to be insane if that's what you listen to astrology for, if you think that you cannot move in your life. That is a dreadful way to work with astrology. Saturn in Aries is, I have the wisdom to be myself. I can build something inspiring and exciting for myself. I don't get how people have had this negative thing about Saturn in Aries. I don't get it. That's why I wanted to put out this video. So that's my rant. Thank you for tuning in. If you know your rising sign, I've uploaded the March rising sign videos. on my channel, and I've also uploaded the April rising sun videos on my channel for you to look at your free will and your leisure. Okay, so till next time, guys, on Cosmic Girl 101, stay cosmic. We're talking